Hi, and welcome to Coffee and whatever the hell she's drinking. I'm Leslie Homol, professional triathlete by day and also physical therapist by day.
I'm Olivia Peterson, and I have lots of hobbies and lots of jobs.
Yeah, pretty new ones this week, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have a special guest this week. He's our brother, so he couldn't say no. So let's welcome Stephen Peterson.
Oh, you're ready for me
We
already?
we brought him on because he's
Well, yes.
competing in a pretty cool event this week. So we'll highlight into a sport that maybe you all don't know about. So what are you doing this weekend?
I for as a hobby do some powerlifting, so it just gives me some goals to be active and motivated in the gym. So I'm doing a competition this weekend, a local one.
So what does that entail? What do you have to do?
A powerlifting competition, it is a bench or squat, bench, deadlift, 1 rep max. So you're trying to lift as heavy as for a single repetition as you can. Um, so you get 3 attempts at squat, and then 3 attempts at the bench, and then 3 attempts at the deadlift, and then your highest weight for each one gets added to a total, and then the highest total in your weight class wins.
So when you choose the weights, like what's your mindset for each lift? So you get three tries. What's your mindset into picking the weights?
So after your first lift, you're not allowed to ever go down in weight. So you want your first attempt at each lift, you want to be pretty light, something that you could easily hit for 3 repetitions on a training day. Um, That way you just get on the board, and then you can shoot for the stars on your second and third attempt. So the first one is just something to get on the board, feel out how you're feeling that day, and how the judges are kind of grading you on that particular lift, and then you can go for it after that.
Do you have to, so like when you pick the weights, is it all in advance or can you adjust that as the meet goes?
Um, you can adjust it as the meet goes. So different federations have different rules. So depending on which federation you pick to lift in, you kind of just got to read their rule book. But my weigh-ins are the day before, and so I have to give my first attempt for all 3 lifts at the weigh-ins. I think they're pretty flexible. So if like you wake up and you're hurting, if you ask the judge to change it, I'm sure they'll make exceptions. But you pick your attempts the day before at your weigh-ins, and then after you complete that lift, you go immediately over to the judge, and then you tell them what you're going to do for your next attempt. So you don't have to pick out your second or third attempts in advance. You can kind of do that depending on how you're feeling after the previous one.
So you're self-coached, right?
Yeah, it's just a hobby for me, so I just kind of wing it. Um, I've been lifting since I was in high school, so and I'm also a physical therapist, like you and your husband. So I've kind of been a passion of mine to study it throughout my life.
Yeah, I'm the only one in the family of the siblings who aren't did not go into the medical field at all.
Um, how do you how do you decide how to taper? Like what does the taper look for you?
For me, not good. um, you're supposed to obviously, cut back the intensity 1 to 2 weeks beforehand and kind of rest and recover. Um, I'm not so good at resting or taking it easy, so uh, I did this week. So this week, my plan for the taper was like my competition is on Saturday. So Monday before the meet, the plan was to go in and hit all my openers. So what I'm going to do for the first attempt of each lift, and then Wednesday or Thursday go back into the gym just to keep your form and your body moving a little bit. Just go in and hit about 50% of what you think your 1 rep max is. Just something like to keep the mode recruitment and
Hmm.
muscle memory going.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do. I don't know how the concept really correlates that well, but like in our tapers, we keep a lot of the intensity, but a lot of the volume. But I guess in lifting, you can't keep the intensity for a one rep max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gym I'm going to the competition at is in Hillsboro. It's called the Pit, and the owner there, he was a professional strongman. He's this massive dude, and he coaches at the gym. And I hear him talking all the time. And I heard him tell his lifters to basically absolutely do nothing this week.
Yeah, I know. Like that was
I
one
want my
concept.
taper to be like that.
That
Damn.
was a concept for a while, but like if I did that, or if I did that for you, you would feel so dead or so sluggish for a race. Like
Me?
even yeah, even just getting a few pickups, like getting
Yeah.
like you talked about, like just getting your muscle memory, staying in the zone is helpful because like you turn the body off and you're not gonna be
Stays
able to
off.
go.
Done.
Yeah, yeah. So
So Steven, nutrition wise, are you like super into like I guess how do you feel your body to prepare?
I am also I'm not as dedicated and hardcore as Leslie, so I have my ideals that I try to follow, but I'm not super strict on anything. So I don't count calories or macros or anything like that. I try to prioritize protein and make sure I get enough of that. But other than that, I kind of just keep an eye on the scale once every couple of days. And my goal is to be, if I'm in a phase where I'm trying to gain weight, just making sure that the scale is reflecting that over short periods of time, and vice versa if I'm trying to lose weight, um, and then just eating less or more based on that.
Have you ever had an issue? I know like I've heard a lot of stories about like people trying to eat as much protein and them being like, I can't eat anymore.
Um,
we
I've
just had it.
never really had that issue, but I also don't eat the healthiest. So yeah, if you're eating
Right.
clean, where it's like rice, chicken, steak, and vegetables, those kind of things fill you up. Um,
Yeah.
so I can definitely see that. I don't eat so clean, so the calories I get doesn't fill me up. So I usually can eat plenty.
Yeah.
Well, we do have some listener questions this week, which is exciting, and I actually want to see what Steven's opinion would be as a complete outsider to the world of triathlon. So our first question from listener was, so they just adjusted the draft zone for triathlon, for Ironman distances, and it was 12 meters, and now it's 20 meters. So I don't know if you know anything about that, but basically the draft zone got bigger, so like you can't be as close to the next person. Do you have an
Okay.
opinion?
Well, I've never cycled, and I don't know the cycling world. But just as a funny opinion, if you're not rubbing, you're racing. Or if you're, yeah. So, um,
Yeah.
I think competitively, it'd be fun if you could push people off their bikes and bump into them and draft and do all those
Good
things. But
Lord.
if
I
you
feel
ain't
like
cheating,
for
if you ain't cheating, you're
me,
not trying.
I feel like for
What's your
me in my races, like drafting out of my mind. Like I'm just here. I don't know if I get too close to someone. I don't know. I don't really pay attention, but I'm also not in like big races,
Yeah, well,
Ironman
actually,
races.
they only adjusted that draft zone for the pros for that reason.
Yeah.
It's like you guys don't have access to Race Ranger. Like, what does 20 meters look like? You have no idea.
Like
And
when I'm in a race, I'm not thinking about that. I'm also not thinking about drafting. I'm just like,
right,
I'm going my speed. If you're there, you're there. I don't know.
Another thing is those kind of rules really only apply to the top end, right? If you're
Yeah.
a beginner or a casual or whatever, you're just trying to complete the race, and those fractions of or those small minuscule amounts of time that you gain from those little advantages, don't really matter to you.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
feel
there
like for
are.
me, for us, it would be more about safety and how close you are to someone.
That's why. Well, that's a big reason why they have the draft rules and the sport. I mean, I can give my opinion on it, but I kind of know why they've changed it. But I'd say like in the top end of the age groupers, there's probably a lot more drafting than in the pros because they obviously give us penalties a lot more often than the age groupers. So I can kind of see where like the people trying to get to Kona might have an issue with it, but they just can't enforce they can't enforce it throughout the whole field, or they don't have the space yet, or they don't know enough information to try to enforce it through the whole field. But I guess like my opinion on it is like I I didn't have a strong opinion, but I feel like I understand why they did it because the advantage, like people were getting so much faster that the advantage was becoming so much more, and like spacing us out creates more emphasis on being truly good at swim, bike, and run. So like you can't be a weak biker and just hang on to somebody's wheel. But so I'm excited that it's at least trying to emphasize what we want out of the sport, and a lot of the top end pros wanted this, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool
So,
All
beans.
so what you're saying
right,
is that you're going to draft.
so no, no, you have to be up with people to draft, you know.
I'll make sure I send this to all the rules makers at next race. She's cheating.
Watch out.
Yeah. All right, Liv, do you have any questions?
Me? Um, I feel like I have a question for you, both yins. Um, so if I want to do a high rocks, could I just combine both coaching and you coach me on the running portion and Steven coach me on the lifting portion? I think I could.
Absolutely not, because it's high rocks is high intensity, which
I
neither
know.
one of us are anywhere near that. She's endurance, and
Yeah,
I'm the anaerobic. Um,
Yeah,
so,
but with your background in like PT and some knowledge and whatever high rocks is, I feel like,
I mean, I could try to get you to the finish line, but I wouldn't call it coaching.
so it's basically what it's like 8 rounds, and you do like a 1 mile run and then a fitness activity. Like I have no idea, but it's like 100 wall squats or ball squats, wall balls,
yeah.
and then
Hmm.
you run a mile, and then you do another like 50 push-ups. I don't know what the fitness things are. So with any sport, it's a theory of specificity. So if you want to do a high rocks, basically your training, in my opinion, would be to do a high rocks.
There's
So do a
people that
mile
do
run,
it.
do a
Yeah,
mile
there's
run,
people.
do an activity, do a mile run, do an activity, and that's basically how you train for it, in my opinion.
Sure.
I think you
Okay,
could do
so
it,
don't go for
and I
Steven
don't.
and coaching.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could do both, and I don't even think I know. There's a girl that one of my friends from PT school actually competes. I think she's professional. I think she competes professionally in high rocks, and she runs all the time, and she
Yeah,
runs
the
long.
major issue I have is the gym I go to right now wouldn't help me in training for it. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I was talking to
All right, Liv,
somebody,
I
and they,
think. Huh?
what? So I was talking to somebody that's high rocks, and they go to, um, well, they go to a Crunch Fitness. Don't you go to a Crunch Fitness?
it used to be Crunch. It's not
Does
anymore.
the gym you have like a turf field and stuff like that, where you can do like kind
Yeah, it does. I think it has a sled push and it has skiers. Honestly, it probably has everything. Probably, maybe.
of, yeah, probably.
Except for somewhere throw balls to the walls.
I'm sure it has high ceilings. You can do that anywhere.
Okay.
What's everyone drinking today? Olivia, what
He's,
are you drinking?
I'm drinking Scratch.
What is Scratch? That sounds like drugs.
It's, I
I guess
guess,
we
no.
can get you a discount on
It's,
it.
it's the good.
Yeah, it's the good stuff. It gets me through training. It's like a bunch of
It's
sodium, electrolytes, all that fun stuff.
Michael's special potion.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
bring you some on Saturday.
Do you guys even know what that quote's from?
No,
Michael's special juice. Space Jam.
no, I
I
didn't.
haven't watched that in ages.
I just had
Um,
Well, now I can't remember the movie, so never mind.
Yeah, but Leslie, I don't know, you're partnered with Scratch?
Yeah, I have a discount code if anybody wants to save some money. I'll put it in the
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Oh, want to hear
I
some
like
cool
the
news?
orange.
huh?
Want to hear some cool news? I might need Leslie's expertise because after this competition, and I haven't done or focused on cardio in my whole entire life since I played high school sports. After I do this competition, I want to possibly start running, biking, doing a 5K, getting in a little bit into your world, just to diversify my health a little bit and keep my heart
I
a little
have
bit
something to
forward.
say.
So maybe you guys can help me with that here after this weekend.
Either A, we find one to do together, or B, we do the relay.
Like the high
That would be
rocks.
fun. No, for
No, it's
triathlon.
triathlon.
Oh. Or we do a relay triathlon and a high rocks together, and then you do a
I
powerlifting.
don't got.
That's a lot of money, okay? You just signed us up for 7 things.
You also training for like each of these don't go together. Like the amount, like I love lifting, and it drives me nuts that I can't part like I don't have enough time for all this stuff
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
or money.
I'm gonna actually have to wake up before 10 o'clock in the morning and do my running so I can lift in the afternoons.
I'm excited for you to get a bike. I think you'll like cycling.
As soon as I hit the lottery.
But also, Cooper's going to beat you in the 5K. I just hope you know that.
All right, well, let's find a 5K. We'll find one this weekend and sign up for it.
Y'all live together, I don't. Um,
Do not live together.
well, I'm not to you guys live close.
An hour.
Um, all right, this is another question from our listeners. Leslie, how do you set your schedule? And are they always like pro races?
Yeah, I mean, well, they don't technically have to be pro races, but if I race a race that's not a pro race in the triathlon world, I don't count. So,
Does that mean
but
like pro series? Is that like the same thing?
no, the Pro Series is like a specific set of races that qualify you. It basically ranks you throughout the year. So you're competing not just at one event, but all of those events. So you get the best score of 5 races. So 3 Ironmans, 2 half Ironmans, and you're ranked at the end of the year for a pretty decent bonus structure. So that's what the Pro Series is. But there are races outside of the Pro Series that are still pro races. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just it tries to pull together the best of the best to try to compete amongst the whole year instead of just obviously World Championships takes precedence for most people,
right.
but
So how do you like going into the year, you're like you have all these lists of races, obviously. You can't one, you don't have enough time
to race
or
them all.
money to travel to all of these places. So
Yeah.
which one do you pick and why and whatever?
So I guess my one of my biggest goals is to make it back to Kona. I got lucky to experience that as an age grouper. I think it's going to be cool as hell to make it back as a pro. So I set my schedule up to try to give myself the best chance of qualifying, but also like I know some people think or try to shoot for some international races to try to qualify. So I was considering Ironman Brazil this year, but
I wanted you to do that
yeah,
because
it would have been
I
cool.
wanted to go to Brazil.
But then we looked at the time zone change and the travel costs, and it would take me out of a lot of the local races that I like to do. Local meaning they're still pro, but like I can drive to them. So we
Mm,
decided to do Ironman Texas. It has 6 slots. It's a fast race. It also brings in a lot of the best of the best. So it's not necessarily it's really good competition, which I'm not afraid to do a Pro Series race. I'm not afraid to line up against the best of the best because I want to see where I truly stack up. But that also lets me do White Lake, which is only like 2 hours from me, and
Oh, is that during my house?
it is. I'm sorry.
You don't care about me.
It is it's not an Ironman branded, but it's a half Ironman distance. And they actually have a somewhat decent pro prize money. So it'll be fun. Support a local race. They had a fun one this year.
You
And
mentioned
then
a
I'll
check.
be
And the kid mentioned the check.
that's the hopeful part, right?
But what if there's
And,
That's the fun part.
and then I'm going back to Chattanooga. So that's the beginning of my season,
Ooh, is that during your birthday again?
like right before it, yeah. And then I will probably
Well,
go
yeah, I
back.
might not be able to go there.
Not that. I'll probably go back to Lake Placid because that's a fun race and the spots usually roll down a little bit. So if I'm super competitive there, I also might have a chance at Kona. But I don't have the end of the season picked out just yet because hopefully I'll be going to Kona.
And I was lucky enough to get to go to Kona to watch you. Excuse to go to Hawaii.
Twist my arm, I'll go again. Oh, twisted.
Send them back! Send them back!
Twisted.
I think you need to do a race in Ireland in 2027.
What, my
Do they
pit
have?
place?
Is that a destination that we race?
I don't know if there's races there, but I want to go there for the pit game. So it would be nice if
We don't wear ins around football anymore.
Yes. I just get everything.
we
They
need,
are about to race in New Zealand. That would be cool.
we didn't take
I
any,
do it?
or I didn't take any trips for snowboarding this winter. I'm sad.
Yeah, you
Well,
didn't
you were
say
supposed to come visit me.
Yeah, we said agreed on it for like the next week, and then we never talked about it again.
I know. Well, I think the snow melted,
And
so
I ran out of money. So
yeah, I got no money.
ah,
we like to pick hobbies that don't pay us very well. We all should have been professional golfers when we were 5 years old.
professional golf. I don't know about
Golf.
all that.
Golf's hard.
Yeah.
I'm average at everything I do.
I need something more to do than golf.
Nope, golf.
We could hike a tall mountain or something. Cool.
So Leslie's coming to visit me this weekend to watch my competition. What's your training schedule going to be like around all that?
I actually have my test weekend or like race simulation weekend this weekend, so I'm gonna do my test swim. So just kind of trying to get race pace zones. Pretty hard session for the swim on Saturday, and then Sunday will be 5 hour ride, trying to hit race zones, and then a 1 hour run. So basically just setting my race zones, seeing what I can hit and what I can hold, and practicing nutrition.
What I heard is that while you're training on Sunday, me and your husband are going to go golfing.
I figured as much.
I feel left out.
Oh,
Well, maybe
darn.
you could move to North Carolina. But you like Pittsburgh and you're a Yinzer now.
I do like Pittsburgh.
Basically, she says she likes the city. I don't know who that person is.
All right, I know. There's pros and cons. Listen, I can walk anywhere I want. Go get coffee. I walked to Target last night.
All
Yeah,
right,
but
well,
it's all 5 degrees for like 5 months out of the year while you're walking everywhere.
That's true. I'll just move to Charlotte.
That's not a bad option.
we still have a
I don't
game.
know. I don't like the traffic of it all.
Right. All right, what were we saying?
So it's
We still have a game to play.
Oh,
ah,
So I forget the name of the game. She likes coffee or she hates tea, and that's the biggest
oh,
clue you get.
she likes whiskey, but she hates tequila.
Is my turn.
Yeah.
Um, she likes cameras, but she hates tools.
she hates what?
Tools.
Mm.
Okay. She likes dresses, but she hates skirts.
That is true.
That
All
is very
right, if
true.
you guys want to play along, put your guesses in the comments. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Bye.